it's Ash, the vegan neuropsychologist, and I'm back to talk about whether bananas can cure depression. So it's kind of a commentary on whether our diet can affect our mental health. And I find this issue cropping up a lot, especially in the online vegan community, and particularly the raw vegan community or the raw till 4 community. There seems to be this idea that's promoted that if you just eat a certain way, or if you just drink this smoothie, or you just eat a raw diet or a vegan diet, that you'll be able to cure mental illness. Now, I know that this has been the case for some people. There's been lots of anecdotal evidence of people who have cured schizophrenia, depression, panic disorder, anxiety, eating disorders through a vegan or a raw vegan diet. And I think it's amazing and so commendable to the people who have experienced these benefits. And it's wonderful. It's a wonderful testimonial to the power of a vegan or raw vegan diet. Should we, though, take that to mean that everybody who eats a vegan or raw vegan diet will be able to cure their mental illness? And that's what this video is about. So, as I said, loads of anecdotal evidence, but anecdotal evidence isn't everything. We'd like to know, have there been any long-range studies, big-scale studies looking at large groups of people? So I went to the literature, I had a look. I've actually been keeping an eye on the literature for a number of years because it's something that I'm interested in. And generally speaking, there's just not a lot of research in this area. And the research that does exist, in my opinion, it's not that conclusive. And it's for a variety of reasons. Sometimes it's because of the study design itself. Maybe they didn't define groups of people well. They used very loose definitions of what veganism is or vegetarianism is. Or the outcome measures that they used in order to determine whether mental health improved. Maybe the outcome measures weren't the ideal outcome measures or weren't well suited to the general population. So I don't want to get into a scientific discussion about the literature itself. Suffice it to say, I don't think there's a lot of scientific literature supporting a link between veganism and improved mental health. So if we don't have a lot of empirical evidence, then what about from a theoretical basis? The way that I view mental health and managing mental health is it's kind of like being at the buffet. So if you're really hungry, then you're going to hit that buffet hard and you're going to load up your plate with lots of different things and you'll take second and third helpings. But if you're not really that hungry, maybe you'll just take one or two things and you won't go back for seconds. And mental health or managing mental health, it's a little bit like that. Because we know that there's this whole laundry list of things that have been shown to improve mental well-being, or at least subjective mental well-being. So obviously there's the medication and therapy, but there are other lifestyle habits that we know can improve mental health. So things like exercise has been shown to lift people's moods. Things like yoga, meditation, mindfulness, these practices have also been shown to alleviate feelings of depression and anxiety. Now, are these things on their own enough to cure, let's say, a severe anxiety disorder or a severe depressive episode? Maybe not. If you're experiencing extreme levels of distress, like depression or anxiety, then it's a bit like going to the buffet when you're hungry. You need to choose a lot of different strategies to help improve your well-being. But if you're a person who's just experiencing low levels of depression or anxiety, maybe not enough to warrant a diagnosis, but enough to affect your overall well-being and your day-to-day functioning, then maybe you only need to pick one or two things. Maybe it's like going to the buffet when you're not that hungry. One thing that we do know is that when people start to experience a little bit of change, it can actually be very motivating and inspiring, and it can propel them into creating even bigger and better changes. And I've done a video on this before, which I'll link to below. So let's say you're someone who's experiencing some psychological distress, maybe you're anxious, depressed, sad, stressed out, and you change your diet. Now, and you make a dietary change where you cut out a lot of processed foods and you start eating more fruits and vegetables and you start feeling a bit better. Maybe you get a little bit more energy and you use that energy to do a bit more physical activity or to be a little bit more productive. And that can be quite inspiring and motivating, and that might propel you to want to spend more time outdoors, in the fresh air, in the sunshine, in nature. Maybe it would encourage you to spend more time with your friends and family, maybe doing work that you find fulfilling. Maybe just by making this one dietary shift, you actually set off a chain of events, a chain reaction whereby you actually altered every aspect of your experience. So it wasn't just diet. It might have started out with diet, but then it eventually became the way that you exercise and the way that you engage with others and the way that you do your work and the way that you live your life. And if your mental illness or your mental distress has been caused by your lifestyle, then I can see how changing your diet, just eating more bananas, just eating more carbs, just eating more fruits and vegetables, I can see how that could cure you of your mental illness. Does it mean that it's going to work for everybody? Of course not, because we're all different. Some of us come to the buffet hungrier than others, and we need more than just a dietary change. Maybe we need therapy as well. Maybe we need to take medication as well. So if a dietary change on its own was enough to cure you of your mental illness, that's awesome. And if it wasn't enough, it's okay. We're all different in the level of need that we have and in the level of support that we're able to access. So to answer the question of whether bananas can cure mental illness, maybe. Maybe you are one of these people for whom it does, and maybe not. But don't let that be a barrier to you not changing. Don't let that maybe stop you from making positive choices and positive changes. Don't let the maybe stop you from changing your diet, or from incorporating some more physical activity, or from changing something else about your lifestyle, because it might just be that you're at that buffet and you need to make more choices because you have a greater need. This is such a controversial topic, and I'd love to know your opinion, so leave me a comment down below. What do you think? Have you got experience with dietary changes improving your mental health, your mental well-being? Let me know, leave me a comment. And thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe to this channel if you like what you're hearing, and I will see you in the next video.